And we are live, the craft beer news segment. I fucked that up last week too. Craft beer news segment of Better on Draft podcast for December 2nd, 2022. Folks, we actually have a giveaway that we need to do. And this giveaway...
We give away stuff on this show?
We do give away. We're giving away a 4-year draft vert of Bourbon County Barrel Aged Stout at Three Nicks Scoreboard in Allen Park. We're giving away 2 single tickets. The objective here, folks, 40 ounces of barrel aged beer, not good to drink, then drive. Share it with a friend, maybe 2 friends. 3-ounce pours of each. You each get 12 ounces total, not too bad. You can split it however you want, but each person is only going to get 1 ticket for the winner. So with that in mind, with the Better on Draft, we're going to give away 1 right now. We will reach out to you too. You know what? We're just going to go straight from Instagram. And Nicholas... this is going to be hard because there are some breweries who liked the page too, and I'm not going to give it to a brewery as much as we might like you hot plate beer. You cannot win because I don't think you're going to be in town. And if you are in town, tell me and I will just go buy you.
What day
is it? Just go buy them one. Yeah.
You have a week to turn in the ticket. Starting with Monday, December 5th until December 11th at Three Nicks Scoreboard in Allen Park. You can just show up at any time, show them your ID, and you get 4 10-ounce pours of barrel-aged beer. So for this, Wendy, give me a number between 1 and 10.
40. Oh. I thought you were going to say 1 and 100. 1 and 10, 8.
8. All right, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh God, I hope you're local, cause I don't know you. Orgosaurus. He looks like he's a bike technician, so he might be able to ride his bike. Orgolin, it looks like might be his real name. We will reach out to you over on Instagram as you are a winner. Congratulations. But with the craft beer news, we are going to start off this segment with Wendy. Wendy, what is your article for today?
So I saw today that the Saucy Brew Works, based in Cincinnati, but actually has a branch in Detroit, has a tap room in Detroit, has bought a local brewery there, the Kings Mills, the Cartridge Brewing, which is on the old Miami riverbanks. It's in a historical building. The factory was built in the 1880s. I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared to start today, apparently. Cartridges in the old Peters Cartridge Company factory built in the 1880s, which also houses 134 apartments. And the reason I wanted to bring it up is it's a kind of a chain brewery that has bought a local brewery. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, I get that it's a chain, but it's such, like, whenever we think of things like this, we always look at the size, like how much beer are they making? Because we think of like BJ's is a big chain, or Granite City BJ's, CJ, no, not CJ's, BJ's Brewhouse. That's it, right?
Yeah, BJ's. Yeah.
BJ's.
Granite City, like that's when we think, especially nationwide, of this. Like Saucy Brew Works, as much as it's a chain, I think it's just more a brewery with multiple tap rooms, including one in Michigan.
Yes.
So for this, whether it's Granite City or whether it's Saucy Brew Works, I mean, this is where we get into the world of just business. So if it's a brewery, maybe there was a retirement and someone needed to come in with money, or maybe they, were on hard times and they needed to do something. I mean, we don't necessarily know the intricacies of it, but for me, if it's another brewery and another option, are they keeping the brewery name, or are they just changing it to Saucy Brew Works?
Nope, they're keeping the staff and everything the same. They're gonna mix some of the recipes. So you'll get some of the Saucy beers at Cartridge. You'll get some of the Cartridge beers at Saucy. What I thought was really cool about it, though, was that Brent Zimmerman, the co-founder and CEO of Saucy Brewworks, said he was a graduate of Miami University in Oxford. And when they connected with this opportunity because they visited the facility and instantly fell in love with the architecture, setting, and deep history of the Peters Cartridge Company and the surrounding buildings. So I thought it was really cool that they did this to basically preserve a piece of the history in their community.
Yeah, I mean, that's if you're not only are you going to get new beers now, I think it helps up Saucy Brewworks' game because they're going to have new recipes and the ability to create brews that might be more experimental, especially if they're going to allow them to continue to make beers, keep the staff on, to where it's just not another brewery in a box. Kind of like what they do with Granite City out here in Northville. I think the Northville one is the one that has their own like brew system, and they have the ability to kind of do what they want. So sure, they got the Granite City beers, but Granite City Northville can now make Granite City Northville specific beers that give you a little bit of an extra taste, so that it's just not another Granite City.
Well, and have you guys been to the Saucy Brewworks in Detroit?
I have not. We talked about it with a few people on the Michigan Craft Beer Discord who went there. I still have not gotten to that one.
I thought their beers were delicious and their pizzas were amazing. They were really good.
I think they do what do you call it too? A discounted pizza day, because I think it's definitely a little pricey from what I have seen. But I think they do like a discounted pizza day to where you can go in, and I mean, I'm all for a good deal. So, especially if it involves food and beer, I'm ready for it.
True story.
What about you, Nick? So, what do you think of the buyout? Like, do you think that like the freedom that they're going to get really doesn't matter, or do you think that Saucy might just kind of like step on their throat and force them to do what they want? No offense to Saucy, I don't know their business practices.
I don't know. I don't
business.
Yeah, I think this is just a business move, and I hope when a company buys out something that's smaller that they try to preserve a little bit of what was there before, for respect for what was there and respect to the clientele, the customers that go there, right? That's what we hope for. Does it happen? I think it happens sometimes, but I think sometimes it also doesn't happen. So, they saw this as an opportunity to expand, and they seized the opportunity. I think this is business, and you might make moves that might make other people not happy, but that's it's a dog eat dog world, you know. But I hope that Saucy Brewworks, again, to your point, Ken, I don't know much about them. I don't know their business ID platform or their plans or anything like that. Hopefully they maintain or preserve something that was once there from Kings Mills Cartridge there. Hopefully, maybe they will, but one can hope.
Well, Nick, what's your news article?
Mine's a little bit more on the serious side again. I think this is 2 weeks running now, which is kind of crazy. So the National Beer Sailors Association, they have what's called the Beer Purchasers Index. And for the sixth straight month now in a row, they are looking at the industry contracting. So the Cliff Notes version, the Beer Purchasers Index, anything that's greater than a 50 in the Beer Purchasers Index indicates that the industry is expanding. Anything less than a 50 means it's going through contraction. At the end of November, they rated they gave the index a score of 38, which basically indicates that it is contracting. That is after having a 37 in October, which was the lowest so far for 2022. At-risk inventory, beer at risk of going out of code in the next 30 days, contracted in the month of November with a reading of 49, following a year high reading of 56 in October. Now, what's interesting here is that I wanted to before I started speaking onto this, I, wanted to get a feel as to, well, how's the industry doing as a whole? Because the index actually gets broken down into sub numbers based on import beer, craft beer, premium lights, all the way down to seltzers and ciders. Here's something that really caught my interest in my intrigue. The craft index, the craft beer purchasers index through this year of November, listen to this, is a 25. So that means it's contracting, but it's contracting more than the industry as a whole. Compared to last November in 2021, the craft index was at 47. So almost a 50% decrease from year to year in the craft beer industry. What are your guys? It's numbers, but we've seen, breweries shutter. We've seen breweries get purchased. What are your guys' thoughts? Is it just the numbers game? Is it is it a thing with the holidays? Is it inflation? The supply chain crisis? How would you guys read into this?
Wendy?
On the spot first.
I know, right?
I'm just doing my best because I know I don't like to. I just kind of overtake shows sometimes or spew everything, and then Wendy's just like, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So I just want to make sure you get, your voice is heard and not heard through me.
This is probably the one time that it would be good for you to do that, because I'm like, half of the words that you said, I was like, wait, what?
Okay, well, if you would like, I will hop in.
Yeah, go ahead, and then I'll.
So when Jack came in last week, this is the Zatuna Liquor Michigan Series episode number 31. He talked a lot about how there are the beer sales themselves are going down, but there are other industries that are recuperating. Where that money is. The money is spent somewhere else. So the money is getting spent in the liquor category. The money is getting spent in the FMB category. But also when we're dealing with, especially seltzers that were malt-based seltzers that were taxed as beer, now there are liquor-based seltzers that are taxed not as beer anymore. So when you're seeing these types of things, because this is all based on, again, taxes. So while it's the beer is down, that includes seltzer from like Oddside. But as people are moving away from craft beer, and not moving away due to any negative issues, they're taking their money and they're going to RTDs. They're going to spirits. They're going to the options that they may have wanted, where they're not necessarily wanting to go back into the on-premise category. And that's the huge thing that I would want to see, is the changes of on-premise versus off-premise over the last 3 years, let's say 4 years. Seeing those changes and those increases and decreases between each category, between on-premise and off-premise, I think will tell a much broader story of what's going on, because alcohol as a whole is not down 5.3% year over year, but just beer is. That's beer as a whole, not craft beer, correct, Nick?
Yeah, beer as a whole.
Yeah, so it factors in FMBs, it factors in, it even factors in cider, apparently, which I thought cider would be taxed as wine and not beer. So there are laws, regulations, and rules that kind of will adjust and fix this, but I think it's also what the country wants now. I mean, we went through our craft beer phase. It's not going away, but I think it's potentially reached an apex to where people want the RTDs. I mean, when we went to Oddside Ales for Black Friday, like, my girlfriend, she loves craft beer, but give her the opportunity for a cocktail, she's going to do a cocktail. So she did their version of a White Russian. When we went to, bought beer to go from Oddside, she got the old-fashioned beer. The beer that tastes like an old-fashioned. Like, the people who love cocktails or want to get back into cocktails because they miss being on-premise are going towards these RTDs, going towards spirits, and trying stuff at home. And with the prolific increase of websites like Instagram Reels, Facebook, and of course TikTok. People know how to make these cocktails at home now. It's not a hidden secret. Like, these people are going to walk you through how to do it. And if you now know, okay, well, you know what, I can go buy a fifth of rum and bitters and a few other, ingredients and make my own old fashions for, $1.50 on the drink, as opposed to spending $8, $9, $10 at a bar.
Please don't put rum in your old fashions.
No, I don't know what's an old fashioned. I know it's a White Russian.
You can. I've seen it happen, but it's not as tasty as you would think it was.
It's a new fashion.
Yeah.
That's a Ken joke for sure. But Wendy, what about you?
So yes, I agree. Sadly, you caught me not paying attention 100% to what was going on. I was reading stuff on the social media, which I probably shouldn't just have admitted that. But yeah, I 100% agree. I don't necessarily think that it's beer itself that's down. I think it's just that people are expanding their interests within the market.
That's why they say this is your show. You can do whatever you want on this show because it's your show.
I mean, we talk about expanding markets and expanding what people's interested in. I'm not sure if you looked at Zatuna's Liquor's Facebook page in the last couple of hours. Did you know that Kellogg's Eggos have an eggnog available?
No, but I did see
I would probably try that.
I went to Tippin's, and they had an eggnog, I think, bread pudding.
Eggnog bread pudding.
Yeah, it was the craziest thing. I forgot to send it to Ashley Price over at Metropolitan Valley over in Detroit. But yeah, Tippin's has an eggnog bread pudding you could pick up.
Oh my gosh.
I hadn't been to Tippin's in a while, and I went there for the first time because I'm like, I just want something easy for dinner and the ability to pick up booze.
My older roommate Adam used to make his own eggnog. It was amazing.
Really?
Oh yeah, he did it from scratch. I used to make him make 2 batches so that he could take it to whatever party he was going to, and then he'd just leave some at the house. Well, I didn't make him. I begged him, but that's another story.
I still think, craft beer is going to be here. Domestic beer is going to be here. Like, the money is just getting shifted. And I think spirits is where it is right now. I think this is going to be the heyday for all these Michigan craft spirit companies like the Two James and Rusted Crow and all these Journeyman. Like, all these companies are going to see a huge uptick for what they want or for what they're selling. I'm not a fan of like Coppercraft's RTDs, but their spirits are so good. But I don't think I've had one RTD that I've liked. I don't know if you guys have, but I just have never had an RTD.
Generally, RTDs for me are too sweet.
Yeah.
Like, even with Shandies and Radlers, when you buy them in a bottle pre-made, are not the same as making your own shandy at home. So I think that it's too sweet, which is why I don't like it. But I do like it when I can go to a brewery and get a cocktail that has been made for me to take home with me. Yeah,
Gull Lake does that where they'll make cocktails to go. I know what's the place in Ale Mary's in Royal Oak, I think, does it too, because Ale Mary's also does drams to go. Which is great for especially their really good bourbon and whiskey selection. If you want something that you don't want to throw money down on a bottle, but you want a shot, yes, you're going to pay bar prices, but
it's worth it.
It is. Like, I grabbed a 2-ounce shot of Hibiki 17, and I'm like, because I don't want to spend. First of all, finding a bottle is ridiculous. Second of all, you're finding a bottle secondary market. But yeah, that's. I just think money is moving around. We're not increasing or decreasing. I don't think, and this is probably going to get me hate, but I don't think inflation's hitting everyone as much as the news will make you want to believe.
Not yet.
No. I think things will settle down a little bit. I think there's again, with inflation, there's just so many fucking caveats and rules and things that have happened because of it. That isn't just because inflation; it's because of everything else. But that's another show, another time. Maybe when Michigan becomes the first primary state, we start our own politics podcast. But Nick,
oh brother,
Nicholas,
yes.
I need help because I need to give away one more ticket. We bought two tickets.
Ticket?
Yeah.
All right.
We bought 2 tickets for 3 Nick Scoreboard. Folks, you can go get tickets yourself. $42. You have $42. It's 40 ounces of Bourbon County and 1,000% here to tell you they are not paying us to do this. They have not been a sponsor on our show for years. I just love Ryan and the team over at 3 Nicks. They're great. They're fun. They're just super nice, and we want to support them the way they supported us, especially for the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah.
So $42, you get 4 10-ounce pours. It's a vertical, and you have a week to go, so you don't have to chase times. You don't have to be like, oh my God, I got to be there at 2 p.m. for the tapping. No, you just show up at 2 p.m. if you want to. Show up at 11 a.m. I think they're open up pretty early, so you can get there early. You can get there, late and finish your night. You can go the few times that we've done it. I know Nick, I think, has joined us before. Go see the Lions game. Go watch the Lions game. That's a 3.5 hour game. You could drink, all of it yourself or share it with a friend. But we got to go back. I was killing time trying to get to the Facebook page because we're going to give away one from the Facebook page. And I don't know where the post went because that's just how this world works. I don't see the post at all. Oh, shit.
Oh, geez.
Hang on, I'll find it.
As we are live, we are going to be giving away 1 ticket to that. I found it. There we go. Boom. Nick, give me a number. I think we could do 1 through 20.
1 through 20. All
yeah.
Right. We'll go number 6.
Number 6. All right. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. The winner is going to be Margaret Aaron. Well, I don't know. You have a photo of a dog on your page, so I'm hoping you are not a dog. But Margaret Aaron, you are the winner. We will be reaching out to you, of course, to get your ticket so that you can pick it up. So that was the second ticket we're giving of 2. So make sure you respond to us and get your ticket, and you will have a week to turn it in. We appreciate everyone paying attention to our pages and having fun. The first thing that I wanted to talk about real quick, I don't know if we talked about it last week, but there was we did talk about it because I remember we posted it, but I will reiterate it just because I know it's important to go support this brewery, and I'm sure they've probably been behind on a lot of their orders. But Atrevida Beer Company over in Colorado, the Army veteran Rich Fierro was at Club Q just a few weeks ago during the horrific shooting that happened over there, was able to stop the shooting itself to save the lives of many that were in there, although there were tragic losses. There was, I believe, 5 people who did not make it out of that site, but this gentleman stopped more people from doing that. So Atrevida Beer Company, Atrevida, you can go over to their website. You can purchase swag from them, and it's important because swag doesn't really hit their bottom line at all, because you can just go in, you can buy swag, you can buy hats, caps. I think they have something called a Mexican hoodie, which I think is like a hemp hoodie. Wendy, you're laughing at me. Is it? Do you know what it is?
Have you been to Disney?
No,
because they sell them there.
I have not.
Oh my God!
It's like the same material as the blankets.
Is what blanket?
Like it's a woven hoodie, I don't know how to say it. Woven. I don't know how to explain it, but
Anyways, they've got plenty of stuff for you to
you'll know
purchase.
they're talking about when you see it.
So go to their website. We want to make sure we get it out there as this gentleman who deserves to be put up on a pedestal for his heroic efforts. And the best way we can support him, not in Colorado, is to buy swag. But the second thing I wanted to talk about is that the FDA is going to be cracking down, as they are already, on CBD and food and beverage brands. So there are products, obviously, that you can purchase with CBD infusion in them. There's plenty in Michigan, but we don't have any major brands because Two Roots has not launched their official CBD brand, I don't think, yet. But in a statement published online yesterday, the agency, which is the FDA, said letters were sent to Mood 33 manufacturer 111111 brands, Candy and Coffee Maker Naturally Infused, CBD FX parent company Newware Incorporated, Gummy and Candy brand infusions, and beverage snack pet treat producer CBD American Shaman. These companies are selling CBD containing products that people may confuse for traditional foods or beverages, which may result in unintentional consumption or overconsumption of CBD. The FDA said that CBD-containing products in forms that are appealing to children, such as gummies, hard candies, cookies, are especially concerning. We are adults here. At least age-wise, don't necessarily know about our mentalities, but at least our age itself. So there, do you guys recall a woman who let their child, I believe it was at a baseball game, drink Mike's Hard Lemonade?
No, I don't recall that.
She did not know that the hard lemonade, this is way before, hard seltzer existed and hard sodas and everything. So they gave Mike's Hard Lemonade to a kid, and of course she got in trouble. She didn't know that Mike's Hard Lemonade had alcohol in it. When you see these products, and most of these products can only be sold at a dispensary, some places do sell cannabinoid oil, like gas stations and stuff, like CBD. I don't trust those places, I'm not gonna lie. The products themselves seem a little shisty, but those places are obviously selling with ID to proper age people. Dispensaries are selling to people with proper age. Is this really just another alcohol? Like, should we be worried about it getting into the hands of kids, especially for how expensive this shit is too? Like, this ain't... Wendy,
isn't CBD the portion of like weed that is not regulated?
It does not give you the high. It does not have the THC. So yes, to my knowledge, CBD is not necessarily regulated.
Like, I thought that was not regulated for a reason. I guess. I'm like, it's not like they were giving them gummies that had THC in them that make them high. Like, what is the downside of giving them the CBD?
I mean, honestly, with CBD, obviously there are things that, it does cause drowsiness or lethargy, like it makes you sleepy. But in the same sense, you're not going to overdose. It's probably not as bad as caffeine to these kids or sugar to these kids. You're not going to OD on CBD, especially just the way it is. I just don't see it. It just seems like they're looking for problems.
Right?
Yeah, I would agree.
I nobody's going to, because I mean, we give CBD to our pets. Like, it's over the counter. It's easy. It's not attracted to kids, but I mean, it's as attractive to kids as it is maybe alcohol, and maybe that's where they're getting at, so where they want to have some type of legislation to where it's kind of like how alcohol is sold or resold or available in public. But I mean, I'm I'm a pro THC, pro CBD person, so I can't really say it because I think alcohol's worse
who is
than
it
all
that
of them.
wants to limit this again?
The FDA.
Okay. Well, they're like 10 years behind on everything, so.
Yes, they are.
I just don't think there's anything to really go through. I mean, CBD is expensive enough to where kids aren't going to get it. And adults aren't going to give it to kids. But I mean, even so, like, adults give CBD and THC to kids when they
give them
it.
Benadryl.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And you can buy that over the counter.
Yeah, there are so many worse things to worry about within this. And one of the things on this article is the FDA warning letters represent a blow for the CBD category, as brands have long struggled to operate in a legal gray zone while awaiting regulatory approval, despite major alcohol distributors like Southern Glazers and Breakthrough Beverage taking on CBD-infused brands over the past year. Many mainstream retailers still refuse to carry CBD food and beverages before the government delivers definitive approval. I mean, because it's technically made from marijuana, made from hemp, that and hemp oil is different than CBD oil. Like those are two completely different products. So I think people just don't. There's enough study on CBD and hemp and THC and marijuana that exists to make an answer, but I think it's just because they don't want to make the answer. Honestly,
you know, raise more taxes.
Fucking the amount of taxes. Like, first of all, this is going to be very political, and I understand this, but I feel like it's a high percentage issue. Just fucking legalize it federally, tax it, collect the fucking money.
Yeah,
because you do not understand, like, and let. You know what? Instead, let states criminalize it. Let states criminalize it. Legalize it federally. Let states criminalize it. Just like we have laws on alcohol all across the country. You could create THC laws as to the amount of milligrams per drink, amount of milligrams per food. But allow them to bank. Allow them to... when we had episode 300... with Eric Brigham on talking from Two Roots and talking about how hard it is to make THC products because you can't take THC across state lines. I can't buy Ohio weed and make it a product here in Michigan. I can't buy Illinois weed and make it a product, or I can't sell my Michigan weed product in Illinois. Like, we just need to fix this shit.
We thought it was really funny when we went to Toledo last weekend to get the Mad Elf, which, when is Trogs going to be on the show? Have they agreed yet?
I have not heard anything from them. I should have
Trogs, come on. I talk about you every stinking week. Anyways, I thought it was interesting when I did my hour-long trip to get the Mad Elf, and I was coming back, and probably every other billboard was for smoke shops.
In Michigan or?
In Michigan.
Yeah.
Talking to the Ohioans that were coming up. Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, remember when, I don't know if it was Indiana, I think it was Indiana, was talking, because they didn't have any of the COVID closures that we did here in Michigan. And so they were putting up billboards in Michigan saying, hey, come to Indiana, we're open.
Right.
I mean, it's also the same when Ohio, I think, banned smoking before Michigan. And so there was like a bar right on the border of Michigan and Ohio where people were just going because you could smoke there. And it was right on that state that still allowed it. And I don't know. I've looked at some of the old posts that I had. I'm still a believer that bars should have the ability to buy a license and allow smoking inside.
I'm a smoker and I don't agree with that.
I mean, I don't smoke, and I don't like, and I've definitely, having gone to a few, working when I worked at Toast, like having gone to a few smoke bars after the fact and like, oh shit, I did smell like this, didn't I, walking out?
Yep.
But if you have bars, because even before the smoking ban existed in Michigan, you had bars that were smoke free that people went to because they were smoke free. And if you have the ability to make it smoke free or not smoke free, I mean, I know we're completely off topic, but who cares? This is our show.
I personally don't care about going outside. I would much rather do that than come home and have to wash my winter coat because it smells so bad.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it, but that's why I wish there was a license that you could just buy to allow it, and then that's it. Like there are bars that are smoke free because they don't want to pay for the license, and they're gonna sell it that they're smoke free, and there are bars that'll be like, hey, come smoke here, because you know a bar you're not going to is the random third shift bar in Dearborn that opens up at 7 a.m. for all the third shifters to come drink after their shift.
That's
true. Like you're not going there, and that's the they are going to cater towards the people that they want. Like Augie's over in Madison Heights, as much as we've joked about them on this show before, have become a lot more upscale over the last probably 5-6 years, and it's hysterical to think because they were a fucking dive.
Yes, they were.
Not like a ha. They were a dive that tried to be cool, and now they're just trying to be cool because I love the place.
Dude, that place was like banging music on Thursday nights, man.
$3 40 ounces of Guinness. Fuck, sign me up. Food was always great.
Yeah. I that place at one point had nightclub vibes.
Oh, like, yeah, for sure.
Like you couldn't even walk without banging into somebody.
But that's the thing is that like I think that bars should have the ability to do it, and I think also when we start increasing the amount of weed bars, the ability to mix and match and the ability to treat adults like adults, because if you're gonna drink and drive, you're gonna drink and drive whether it's a weed bar or not. If you're gonna mix, you're gonna mix whether you're mixing it in the car before you go into the bar or after you leave the bar. Like it doesn't increase the rate, in my opinion. For our show.
I'll agree with that. So that's 2 out of 3 right now.
But yeah, that's the whole FDA is going to regulate the CBD. That's the news segment. We gave away 2 tickets to Bourbon County over at 3 Nick Scoreboard. There's still tickets available. $42 gets you 40 ounces of Bourbon County 2022, 2021, 2020, and 2019. 10 ounces of each. Our sponsors, thank you so much, Tuna Liquor and North Center Brewing. If you guys listened all the way to this part, go download the goddamn Michigan Brewery Map app. It's free. It's easy. Go join us in the Michigan Craft Beer Discord. Go find me. I'm all over the place in the Michigan Beer Reddit, Detroit area craft beer enthusiasts on Facebook and other places. That is going to do it. We will not be live next week. No live show next week. We will be at 4 Elf over in Marshall, Michigan, at the Roke Horse Beer Garden. Dark Roke Horse. We'll figure it out. We'll workshop it before we go live. We'll be recording actually
I like Roke Horse.
3 episodes over there. So stay tuned for that. So we'll still have episodes next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks live with Albion Malibu out of Albion, Michigan. And no matter what you think of your beer, we think it's better on draft. Have a good night.
Hold my blunt.
Peace.